Every business today runs on data. Every decision, whether it's launching a new product, analyzing customer behavior, or optimizing sales, comes down to one thing: insights. But raw data, it's messy, it's just numbers, and there is a lot of noise. So, how do we make sense out of it? And this is where you, as a data analyst, comes in. Welcome to Introduction to Data Analytics, a practical, hands-on journey where you learn how to use data analytics tools to convert raw data into insightful decisions. And that's not basically it. You'll also learn how to use data analytics to create business impact. At the end, you'll have a real-world portfolio project that you can use to showcase your skills. So let's get started. I'm Dr. Humera, and I'll be your mentor in this course on Introduction to Data Analytics. I'm the CTO of Digital Munich and have been associated with data, AI, and machine learning for over 25 years. The global data market has grown substantially, and it is projected that it will increase to over $285 billion by 2031. It's correct to say that data is the new oil, and learning data analytics at this point in time is a good investment to make your career future-proof. In this tutorial series, we will work on the full data analytics pipeline. And in general, it's a 5-step process, starting with collection of data, then data cleanup. This is followed by descriptive and exploratory data analysis. Next follows data visualization, and last but not least is storytelling and insights creation. In today's session, we will start with data collection. But a pro tip: whenever you talk about data, always think about business impact first. I repeat, any data project should be backed by a business question. If you will link your data skills with the business acumen, you will be able to stand out from the rest of the crowd. You will be able to showcase that you are not just a technical person who can write formulas and write code. Rather, you have a vision on how to use data to expand the business, to grow the business, to show business impact. And that's really important. Especially in the today's competitive market, it's very important to stand out from the crowd, and by showing business impact, by showing business understanding, you can really stand out. So the project that we will use for this tutorial is also a real world project. We will be working on the Amazon sales dataset, and this way you will be able to learn how to apply data analytics technique to a real world project where you can do real sales analysis, customer analysis, and show business impact. So let's move to step number 1. We'll download the Amazon dataset and start working on it. When you are getting started, in general, the simplest way to search for a dataset is to Google it. So you can proceed to your Google browser and search for, let's say, Amazon dataset, sales dataset. And here you can already see that there are so many datasets available. Some are specific to a certain year, and then there are many general ones. Some are available from different sources, and so on and so forth. My personal favorite for dataset collection is the Kaggle website. Kaggle is not just a dataset collection resource. It's a huge portal. It's a community of data related people. So you can not only look and interact with datasets, rather you can also participate in different competitions. You can submit your solutions. You can see what others have submitted, and you can also have a discussion. We are going to look at this Amazon sales dataset. Again, when you are downloading a free open dataset from the internet, there are a few tips and tricks to identify if it's a good dataset. To begin with, you can see who posted it, when did they post it, how many people have already interacted with that dataset, and so on and so forth. For example, you can see this bronze icon, which shows that the user is actually a top user, somebody who uses Kaggle a lot, posts on Kaggle a lot. Then you can see how many people have actually interacted or downloaded this data set. Then you can see when was this data set posted, so you can identify how old this data set is. So if you want something which is has to be very up to date, very recent, then of course you would prefer to have something which is posted very recently. Then you can see how well the dataset has been described, how much code has been generated for this dataset, how many discussions have happened on this dataset, and all this kind of information you can get. How well described this dataset is. So even before downloading, you can see which parameters will be there: product ID, name of the product, category of the product, discounted price, actual price, percentage of the discount. So this looks like a good sales related data set. Rating of the product, number of people who voted for the Amazon rating, about product, and so on and so forth. So here, and then we have more details of why this data set was created, how this data set was created. How big is the data set? It's 4 to 5 MBs of data. It's available as a comma separated value file. There are 16 parameters and there are over 1000 products rating available. So to get started for our first portfolio project, this is a reasonable data set. So let's download it. You need to create a Kaggle account, but it's free of cost, so simply register. And once you have registered, you can click on download and it will download the dataset for you. Now to work on this data, we need to import this dataset in a spreadsheet. For this purpose, you can use Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. Or if there is any other tool that you would like to use that supports tabular functions, which have tables, which have rows and columns, you are free to use that. But the most popular data analytics tool is Microsoft Excel. It is available free of cost for certain scenarios, but mostly you need a license. But the other one, very popular data analytics tool is Google Sheets. And this is available free of cost, especially if you have a Gmail account. I assume you have a Gmail account, but if not, you can create one. Simply go to Google and create account. Once you have the Google account, you can go to this Google Sheets by going to the top right corner, Google Apps, and scrolling down to navigate to Sheets. And here you can create a blank sheet. This is how your empty spreadsheet looks like. As you can see that there are many columns and there are many rows. Now you can import the dataset that you have just downloaded. For this, you can go to File and Import. Since the data that you have just downloaded is in the hard disk, so you can upload this dataset. And in this way, Amazon.csv will be imported. It will ask you where to import this data. Of course, we can replace the existing spreadsheet, or if you want, you can also create a new spreadsheet, but we don't want a new one. For us, just where we are is good enough. And then it can ask you if you know how the different parameters of the dataset are separated. Since this is a CSV, it's a comma separated value file, we can specify that the different data points are separated by a comma. If you are not sure, you can leave it to detect automatically. And then you can import the data. Depending on the size of the data, it may take a few seconds, and once it's done, then the data will be here. Let's have a look at this data and do some renaming. So for example, this untitled spreadsheet, we can rename it to Amazon sales data. And now we can see that all the parameters which we were expecting, like product ID, product name, category, discounted price, actual price, discount percentage, rating, etc. These are all here. And then there are some reviews, some titles, the content, image links, product links as well. And we can see that there are almost 1000 plus data points. So 1466 data points. The first row is a header row. So we can say that there are 1465 data points. And with this, we have completed the step number 1, data collection. We have our data now. And in step number 2, we will proceed with cleaning up of the data. Meanwhile, feel free to get hold of the data, import it in Google Sheet, and as a reflection, think about what business questions you can answer from this data set. I'll see you in the next one.